Don't be afraid to get long-winded either, because all that means is I get to share the content, which is
Okay.
useful. All right. Oh, post to my page.
Clear.
Welcome everybody. It is TigerBait Live, the midweek show. We are here. I got some very, very exciting news for y'all today. I have our very first live guest. I'm excited to introduce him. He's a very exciting personality. You will remember him from Tosh.0. His name is Stephen Ray, also known as Stingray, the former super fan of Mississippi State. He's now just a general SEC insider. Uh, and he is bearing through Hurricane Zeta. It is heading his way in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. But he was nice enough to join us here tonight. So if you have any questions for him, please let me know. He's got the awesome Stingray show he's doing where he takes a look at the SEC as a whole. Joseph Giat, great question. I would jump straight to Stephen Ray, but he's asking Sage Ryan to Bama. Sage Ryan will announce his commitment on October 31st. So before we get in a giant LSU Auburn conversation, I'll address that. So Sage Ryan, highly recruited kid out of Lafayette Christian. He's won 3 straight state championships. Borderline 5-star kid. I am not expecting him to commit to Bama. I think he is all LSU. He's got Trev Falk. He's got Kevin Falk as his cousins. I think he is all LSU. And if they lose him, that's a bad sign for LSU. So we shall see. Anyways, I've got Stephen Ray here. Let's get him going. Alrighty. Ray, how's it going, man? What you been up to?
Good, sir. How about you?
Oh,
You're
man.
down there in ground zero for this major hurricane, aren't you?
Yeah, but Baton Rouge, we're plugging along, dude. We always do, and looks like we're on the good side of the storm. The west, east side, one's good, one's
Yeah.
bad. Looks like we caught the good one this time. So, but
Hey, man, that was a huge win you guys had against Cocky the other day. I mean, man, that was impressive by the quarterback there, TJ. Man, he put on a show.
yeah, no, it was shocking to me. I had a lot of people trashing me because I picked South Carolina
Yeah.
38-21. Like I picked a blowout because of what I had seen. You know, I hadn't seen any evidence from
Yeah,
what had
man.
already happened. I hadn't seen evidence that there was going to be any difference. Now, of course, a lot of people pointed out, well, you can expect the defense to get better. You can expect offensive line to play better. Maybe they do some things, but it's like, I don't know they would do those things. But they did. Offensive line played a lot better. Running backs played a lot better. They ran 2 new running backs. Of course, former starter Chris Curry only got 3 touches, so it makes you think maybe they're making some adjustments there. They ran the ball 54 times, passed the ball 21 times. So they held the ball for 37 minutes. So they clearly had a strategy of, how you help a terrible defense, which, by the way, at this point, I'm declaring that this is not a defense with some problems. This is a bad defense. They've got personnel issues. They've got
Yes.
probably
Yes.
some play calling issues. I've been very critical of a lot of the things I did, like schematically when I look at things like faking a blitz with your strong safety Jacoby Stevens and then manning him up on the slot receiver who's running a seam. I'm very critical of things like that. So the way you help them is you keep them off the field. So drastic improvement, I thought. Were you impressed with this LSU team? Do you think they're going to bounce back?
I was very impressed with LSU, but let's turn it over to the South Carolina side just for a quick second. How frustrating must it be for the cocky fans out there to get a huge win at home against Gus Malzahn and Auburn, and then of course turn it around and lose down at Baton Rouge at Tiger Stadium, man. And not only did they lose, man, they got absolutely blown out. But looking at that game, I really felt like the turning point of that football game was when Colin Hill threw an interception right there before the half. That one really blew the game open. Now, obviously, in the third quarter, LSU, South Carolina got the ball first, and they drove it down the field to make it 31-17. And then the ensuing kickoff, unfortunately, fortunately for you guys, unfortunately for South Carolina, they allowed them to run the kick all the way back. And then at that point, I felt like that was the backbreaker for South Carolina.
You know, did you know that kickoff return was the first LSU kickoff return in Tiger Stadium since 1981?
That's insane.
Is that not an anomaly? Because it's not like LSU hadn't had some good returners. That is just that is so crazy to me that streak. Ray, I was born in 91. Okay? The guy who returned the kick, I couldn't find his exact birth date, but I'm pretty sure he was born in 2001. like the streak was as long before he was born as after he's been born. These things are just absurd to me that they did not do that in Tiger Stadium for that long a period of time. But that's,
man, it's 2020, so anything's possible.
That is the perfect comment. Yo, guys, if y'all have any questions for Ray, get them in. I'm going through them looking for him. Looks like we're really interested in Sage Ryan. A lot of people doubtful. I checked recently. I maybe haven't looked into it today, but last I checked, Sage Ryan, I feel pretty comfortable. A lot of people want to know about Saiki Aika, the defensive tackle transferring. And they want to know if they don't like Bo Pelini. Well, I'll touch on that real quick. I'm not going to keep you here too long with that, Ray. But basically, he's a 3-4 nose tackle. Big dude. And they're running a 4-3. And he is square peg, round hole. Does not surprise me. I'm not sure if it's a doesn't like LSU thing or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's more of a, I just don't fit. And it's becoming obvious by the day. Even if we lost 6 defensive tackles, I'm not fitting in. So Ray, perception.
Real quick, by the way.
Go ahead, bud.
Not to interrupt you there, but to let LSU fans know, they're also an issue with players transferring at my former school that I was a fan of, Mississippi State. 3 players actually decided to enter the transfer earlier today, and Shavers was one of those as well. That, if you will remember, he went to Mississippi State from Alabama, so he is off the team up there as well. So this is not just an LSU thing; it is impacting a lot of teams around the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, and clearly, COVID is going to give you a free pass to basically do whatever you want. Ray, one of the things that is up in the air, and tell me this is not funny. So, do you know how old LSU's punter is?
I do not know.
He's 30. He just turned 30. Okay, he is very old. His name's Zach Von Rosenberg. He's incredible. Ray, is LSU's punter older than you? Yeah. The punter's old. He shook his head yes, but Zoom didn't pop it up there because he wasn't talking, y'all. But yes, LSU's punter is older than Stingray, who went viral.
Actually, he's 30. I'm 32.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. But they're almost the same age. I mean, that's pretty crazy. He's 2 years older than me. I'm 28, and they're talking about he might come back for a second senior season next year because COVID might let him do it. So that's pretty wild, fun stuff there. Switching gears here. Auburn. Have you gotten a good look at them? What are your impressions on Auburn?
I feel like that they should have dropped that game to Ole Miss last week. I thought the SEC office actually helped them out. I think Lane Kiffin has every right to be upset about that because if you watch, it does touch the pinky of the Auburn player, and of course they cover it in the end zone. So Ole Miss should have had another touchdown. I know that's your rival. They're at Ole Miss and LSU. There's a big rivalry there. But I do think Auburn should have lost that game. And I tell you what, man, they're just barely getting by. They barely beat Arkansas based off of another call that the SEC office gave them. So I really am not liking what I'm seeing from this Auburn football team, and I think it is time, honestly, that Auburn move on from Gus Malzahn now. Because in this era of what have you done for me lately, yes, he beat Alabama last year, but what became of that? Absolutely nothing. So how many championships has he won you, and how many national championships has he won you? Not very many. So I think it's time to move on. Because I think if they get new blood in there at Auburn, they could actually beat Alabama and then contend for a national championship too.
So I've got a question. It's a little off topic here from Eric Herbst. I'm assuming that it probably looks like a bear almost, but Herbst is what I'm seeing here. Will Mississippi State quarterback show up in Tuscaloosa? Man, who are they even rolling out at quarterback anymore? It seems like KJ Costello was Heisman target number 1 against LSU, yes. But everybody's a Heisman contender against LSU's defense.
Yes, I think it will be AJ Costello or KJ Costello. But I also feel like that Will Rogers will also take the field too at different times in that game. But I do not see Mississippi State unless they have a miracle and Alabama plays a turnover-filled game. I think Mississippi State's going to be on the wrong end of that one.
You said preseason Alabama was going undefeated. You still feeling that?
I do. Unless, of course, they meet.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. We got Ray breaking up here a little bit. Wait. I'm sorry, Ray.
Who knows if for this year.
I'm sorry, Ray. So I asked you about that, and y'all forgive us because we got Hurricane Zeta really impacting both of us right now with internet. So I was asking you about did Alabama go undefeated? Why do you think they go undefeated?
I do because I think that they have arguably some of the best players in the country, and Nick Saban is upset from what happened last year. They didn't actually go to the 14 playoff or a New Year's Six bowl. So I think Alabama is really hungry, and I think that they will do everything humanly possible to get back to win another national championship.
Yeah, I think it's a good-looking team. I think Mac Jones has played really, really good. In fact, his numbers are right up there with Tua. Let's see here. If TJ plays like last game, will Max Johnson see the field? I think I'll even dish this one off to Sting right here. If TJ Finley plays that well, do you turn it all to the other true freshman who hadn't really had a chance to play yet?
Maybe getting some game experience, but that would be the only way that you would do it.
Yeah,
if it got really out of hand, then you could give him.
Yeah, so Ray's breaking up just there a little bit. Sorry, guys. Prayers for all the people of Tuscaloosa and New Orleans and everybody else in their path as Hurricane Zeta makes its way as just under a Category 3, about to make landfall in just a bit. He's feeling a little bit of the impact right now. Essentially, he's saying exactly what I would say. I mean, Max Johnson's a talented guy, if TJ plays like that and it's a close game, you gotta roll with the hot hand. Of course, it looks very unlikely that Miles Brennan will be back for this game. We'll just have to, wait and see on that one. I'm sure they will intentionally not, play Miles Brennan even if he is somewhat healthy, just because of the nature of re-hurting himself. They'll probably need him in the future. Hey, Aaron.
I do want to also say this. I do want to apologize to everybody out there watching this. Basically, just for the connection issues on both of our ends. So I just want to go ahead and apologize for that on my end.
Yeah, I mean, I think people understand, hey, we got this hurricane coming. We do what we can. Don't matter how much we pay to the cable man at times like this. Hey, Eric Herbst said I got his name right, so I'm feeling real fine and mighty about myself. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, and by the way, Herbst says Mac Jones is the real deal. I think we can both agree he's probably pretty dang good, right? It's not like a system or anything bumping him up. He's legit. Now those receivers probably buff his numbers up a little bit, but I mean it's nothing like they. I mean the receivers probably aren't even as good as last year. And Eric also follows up with Max will hit the transfer portal if he doesn't play, and that's the unfortunate nature of college football. Eric is if you don't get as a quarterback, if you don't get your number called, and there's someone your age or younger who is, I mean, most of the time that's the nature of the beast. So we saw when Burrow came in, there was a max exodus of quarterbacks, and sometimes it's a great problem to have. It's having too many good quarterbacks.
And let me just go ahead and say for the record here, hopefully you guys can hear me because of the internet issues. But I really feel like that John Rice Plumlee up at Ole Miss, I think he's going to find himself at another school as well. I think he is going to jump into the transfer portal.
Yeah, so this problem is definitely not unique for LSU by any extent. And of course, we just wait and see. Let the kid, do his thing. He might choose to fight it out for a couple years. He might choose the grad transfer route. You never know. I mean, there's you just got to let the kid play. So, feeling so high and mighty about myself with getting Mr. Herbst's name right. I'm going to move into my prediction for this week. Last week, I was doom and gloom, but I mean, my gosh, what else could I really be? Because it's what we had seen, and I can't, as a analytical, evaluator of sport, go off of what I think or hope could happen. I always base on what I've seen and what's happened. I see Auburn, and I'm shocked at this because I keep on waiting Bo Nix to turn that corner. He oozes talent, but he keeps on, completing passes to the wrong team and not very productive. Even Gus Malzahn's been great at getting quarterback playing good, but not with Bo Nix. So,
right.
I've got LSU winning 27-24. I think TJ Finley opens up a lot of things for the offense. He makes a lot of plays Brennan couldn't, although Brennan does the same as well. And I honestly, it's shocking to me to say this, but in some ways the offense is playing better under TJ Finley. I don't think he's going to be as impressive as he was last week because the defense will improve with Kevin Steele over there and whatnot. But I do think he does enough, especially with his legs, to open up this offense and get a win this week. And it'll be close. But because that defense is, they consistently give up a lot of big yardage. What do you think? Am I right there?
I think you are. And earlier I said that game was going to be down at Tiger Stadium. And it is actually going to be at Auburn. So I apologize about that. But, I've always got to correct myself. But I agree. But, Bo Nix plays better at home. So who knows about that Auburn offense. But I think LSU gets it done. And I'm going to say LSU 31-17.
31-17. That is a great big time prediction. And guys, do you know what else is also great in big time? What Joe Burrow did last season. And there's no better way to commemorate it than with my guy, Jordan Spector of Spector Sports Arts. Amazing Burrow painting. You got the Heisman Trophy. You got the hat there, although he substituted it with a PG version hat. I don't know if it was a good move or bad move, but it's so, this fan seems to like it. The messaging there, you can't do it, you won't make it. Very cool, catches everybody's eyes in their man cave. Y'all go get one. I got the link in the description of this video. You won't regret it. It's the coolest thing in your whole man cave you're going to hang. I guarantee it. Man, have you ever seen anything as cool as Joe Burrow smoking a cigar in the Superdome after throwing 60 touchdowns, winning the national championship, beating Alabama, going 15-0, winning the Heisman by the largest margin in the history of Heisman Trophy? Have you ever seen anything that cool, Stephen Ray?
I have not, and I tell you what, too. I actually got to see Joe Burrow play live last year. I actually bought a ticket and went to see them play the Oklahoma Sooners up in Atlanta. And boy, I tell you what, man, that game was over after the first quarter. But I still had fun interacting with the Tiger faithful and the Sooner faithful as well.
Yeah, man, I that team in the postseason looked like a freaking NFL squad, man. I mean, not like a good NFL squad, but I mean, I'm really like, I don't know, man. Like they say, a lot of teams. Let's put it like this: if they played an NFL team 25 times, I bet you they get a dub in there. You know what I mean? Like they were out in the postseason. I've never seen anything like how good that team, just how sheerly dominant they were, and against good teams too.
But I will say this too: I do believe.
Breaking up here just a tad, guys. We'll wait just a second to get him back here.
Been a better game had LA rather than Clemson.
Stephen Ray, I'm pretty sure what he was saying there is that the national championship game would have been better if it were Ohio State rather than Clemson. Right. Yeah. So, look, fair point, but dude, I don't care who was lining up against that LSU team. Dude, I would have taken LSU by 100 against anybody that night. And really, any of the postseason games, I don't think Ohio State takes that one. I honestly, and I don't think there's a team in college football history I would take over that LSU team on that night. Really. I mean, it was very impressive. I got a few comments here. Let's see. I'm going to get you to grade these with me here, Mr. Stephen Ray. I called double-digit win last week on here. I predict the same, LSU 37, Auburn 24. I mean, that's spot on, right, Stephen, according to you, right?
I agree.
All right, so let's see. People are you don't want to hear about recruiting for LSU. But basically there's a big-time recruit here who's announcing on Halloween. And a lot of people are, they're thinking maybe he's to Bama, so you know how that goes.
Yes.
So, Ray, do you remember last time LSU went to Auburn? Do you remember that kick by Cole Tracy?
No.
All right. So Joe Burrow was the quarterback, and that's when LSU's offense was struggling, and Cole Tracy made the game-winning kick. It was a legendary game in Auburn. This series has a history of just incredible games throughout the years. You've got the barn fire, you've got the earthquake game, you've got 1 of 6 field goal game. Ray, in following just SEC series, do you know any more entertaining series? Does anything come to mind as more entertaining for you?
Not off the top of my head, no. And do not forget about the one where Flynn threw
Matt Flynn. Yeah, look at you.
5 seconds left.
I know, like literally I could sit here and name the crazy games. We got Cecil the Diesel in 97, all sorts of crazy stuff. My mom and dad met at the earthquake game. A lot of cool memories between this. And yeah, he's talking about Matt Flynn with 1 second, the national championship year in 07, where if Demetrius Byrd bobbles that ball Game over, man. It's wild. Look, hey, check this out. Joseph Fuselier with another great comment here. That 21-point comeback in Death Valley in 2017. You know, that was the year before Burrow got here, and LSU had lost to Troy. How badly did he need that one? If he doesn't win that game, there's a chance they fire Coach O, and 2019 doesn't happen. So, yeah, just a fun series. That's kind of why, you know, I was like, maybe LSU by 10. And then I was like, you know something? This is Auburn. There's going to be some shenanigans going on here. I see a lot of shenanigans in this series. It's almost like logic. You just kind of LSU Auburn and LSU Ole Miss. It's one of those series where everything you know about football, who cares? Just pick. Go for insanity and see what happens. Guys, as y'all know, as y'all can see here, y'all probably remember Stingray from going on Tosh.0 and all these crazy, you know, Mississippi State's the new Death Valley. But he's actually very knowledgeable and an SEC guru, so to speak, now. You got your own show, the Stingray Show. Ray, can you tell them about it?
Yeah, absolutely. We have me and my co-host Heath Hopkins have a show called the Stingray Show, and we talk college football, and we have guests on. And on Friday, we're actually having Mark Schleybaugh from ESPN come on and talk about the SEC and some other conferences as well. Plus, we will pick games.
Wow, that is a big name guest. It makes me feel like maybe I'm a slight bit more important because I was also a guest on that show. Yes. So if you're getting dudes like Mark Schleybaugh on there, you know what? Hey, man, you know, maybe my profile is more elevated than I thought. So anyways, Ray, I cannot thank you enough for being our first ever TigerBait live guest. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to go let you. Please be safe with Hurricane Zeta headed straight towards you, bud, okay?
Thank you, man. And hopefully we can do it again when we have better internet and there's no issues with weather.
It is what it is. Appreciate you, Steven. All righty. I'm going to get my transition back here going, guys. Give me just a second. Booyah, and I'm back. All right, guys. So thank you so much to Mr. Stephen Ray for making such a great thing possible. I want your feedback on the guest stream here, guys. This is your chance to publicly humiliate me if I did anything wrong, so take your shots. I'm a glutton for pain. If it was, you know, a good feed, you could hear him, all that good stuff, let me know. If anything, I know we had a couple internet issues with him. You know, he's got that hurricane coming toward him, and you know, that is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. But let me know what you think. Let's see here. Oh, Eric with another great comment for him, but I'll touch on this. Do either of you agree with Saban that no longer does good defense beat good offense? True or not? Oh, that's a meta question. Yeah, I think he's right. I mean, I think that the rules are a little too slanted toward offense now. I think that offensive minds have just gotten so smart where it really doesn't matter a lot of times what you're doing on defense. I think if you're good enough on offense, you have an inherent advantage, being that you know what is happening. You know what's going on, and they don't. They are seeing and reacting. You have that, whatever your reaction weight is, you know, 0.1 to 0.3 seconds advantage on them. And if you take advantage of that, I mean, you should score more points on them. So I've always inherently thought, yeah, offense has a lot of advantages, and the way they've done, you know, targeting and hard hits and pass interference over the years, you know, that's made it more and more difficult to have an advantage as defense. He goes, he's not quite Schleybaugh, but Ray was good. Yeah, Ray's an interesting guy, man. It's fun for me because, you know, he kind of became viral when I was just a little, you know, student at LSU, just doing my business, learning journalism, and he was just this viral cool thing. And now, you know, we're kind of buddies. I hit him up, talk to him about SEC stuff every week, and he's got his own show going, and he's like a he kind of is taken seriously now. I'm also real happy he's lost over 100 pounds since those videos, so I'm very proud of him for that. So great, guys. Let's see here. Stingray gets all the hot babes like Johnny Lawrence. Thanks for that, Mike Robichaux. Before I move on here, guys, I want to show y'all a little video feed from my sponsor, Jordan Spector, who's kind enough to provide the burrow painting here. Y'all go check it out. It is absolutely incredible. I want to show you this video which highlights a few details. It's really cool. Go get one. Use the link in this bio because you're not going to regret it. And thank you so much, Jordan Spector, for doing that. By the way, if anybody here has a business or anything they want to advertise on this show, we do have a couple openings. As you can see, we have this new digital format, which opens us up to do a lot of things. So if you have anything you want to affordably advertise to a large amount of people, hit me up. I'll do a great job pushing it for you. But that being said, it was so doom and gloom last week for a lot of people. I think fans were a lot like, they were optimistic, but they also kind of were like, but I don't know, it looks pretty bad. And we saw a lot of things improve. I said the keys to victory last week were LSU needs to establish a run game and they need to block better. Part of my reasoning for that was because you're going to have a true freshman quarterback who, quite frankly, probably won't be. He'll make mistakes. He's a true freshman. And outside of one throw, dude was damn near flawless. So that was what I wasn't expecting. I was expecting them to run the ball better, or at least try to. They also led with John Emery Jr. as the starter and spotted with Tyrion Davis-Price. Tyrion Davis-Price got 22 carries for, I believe, 118 yards. And Emery got 18 carries for 88 yards. So then Chris Curry only got 3. So it was definitely a change in that. They moved from them. I don't know if there's any kind of thing inhibiting Chris Curry from playing, but it appears they're going to go with Emery as the starter with a good spell of Tyrion Davis-Price. I think that helps dramatically for this team moving forward. You know how you help a struggling defense? You keep them off the field, and this TV, I mean, they still were pretty stinky this weekend. First drive, they come out, and 3 plays, 85 yards. Boom, boom, boom. Just giant chunks, And it's weird seeing a team with 2 incredible cornerbacks. I mean, Eli Ricks had that pick six, which, by the way, a lot of people saw the pick six and they were like, hey, it's the Brad Wing thing. He said deuces to him on his way back. If Brad Wing gets penalized for sticking his hand out, shouldn't he get penalized for throwing the deuces? Well, Coach O, he kind of gave him some grace this week, but not next time. Esteban, what's going on, man? PG, did you get Mike S. Get your stadium dog bed yet? I tweeted out earlier today, we have this really cool LSU Tiger Stadium dog bed. We have that on the site. They're selling it at Fanatics. And Mike promised me, dude, you tweet this out and give me 100 retweets on this, I'll buy you one for your dog Tofu. So y'all, I would really appreciate it if y'all went over to my Twitter and retweeted the LSU Death Valley bed so that my dog can get a bed shaped like Death Valley, because I'm a poor, starving sports writer and can't afford one myself. So if y'all could give me a retweet there, I'd be very thankful for that. Let's see here. Let's see. Aaron Herbst, you are spot on. Never thought about ball control technique. Yeah, I mean, it was what Les Miles did for years. And that's why, but it's partially why his quarterbacks looked so bad and couldn't perform when they needed to, because it was too predictable. But the way they're doing it, I mean, Steve Ensminger is proving he is an elite play caller. I mean, maybe not be the best at creating a playbook, but once you hand him the playbook, he is an elite play caller. He's very good at it. I mean, he's broken tons of LSU records, and I mean, he's done. I mean, his resume at LSU as offensive coordinator, it was robust before he took over as full time. As the interim guy, he broke records with Geis running the ball and whatnot. So, yeah. Let's see here. Quarterback room's going to look good the next few years. Boy, that's a good question, Mike. Yes. So you've got Miles Brennan, who is statistically speaking on pace to be the second best quarterback in school history. You've got TJ Finley, who is a beast, man. I mean, he was slinging it this weekend. His future looks as bright as anyone's. Then you've got Max Johnson, who Max Johnson, I believe, had beaten TJ Finley for the backup job. And then TJ Finley just came on so strong. I asked TJ Finley in the postgame conference if the last 2 weeks he really improved that much with getting more reps. And he kind of fed me this, it was like every question he answered was, yeah, I mean, coach says, Steve Ensminger did a great job preparing us for this game. Yes. But I mean, obviously something had clicked with him where, he had gotten either improved or whatever, because he leapfrogged him. So obviously Max Johnson's not a bad player if coaches at one point thought he might be better than TJ Finley. So yeah, that's good. And then behind him, you've got Garrett Nussmeier coming in, highly ranked 4-star quarterback, great fit for the system. He'll be coming in. And behind him, you've got Walker Howard at STM. Excuse me, guys. Ooh, excuse me. I feel like I have to excuse myself every time I cough now. It's not Corona. I promise. Just a little coughed up there. Wish I had Stephen Ray to take it over still, but here we are. I'm all by myself, and I choose to cough. That being said, we got Nussmeier, Walker Howard, who will probably be a 5-star prospect soon, son of Jamie Howard. My dogs are going nuts, y'all. I'm so sorry. But anyways, we also have behind him, we have a 2023 class. None of them are committed yet, but you've got Arch Manning out of Newman, recruiting hard. You got a chance to land him, for sure. You've got Reese Mooney, Denham Springs, highly coveted prospect there. You've got Ricky Collins at Woodlawn, who is trending up. He is a big boy. I talked to Coach Randall in the press box this weekend, and he says he might be the best quarterback he's ever coached. He's really good, and he's big. And then, of course, you've got Eli Holstein at Zachary. Those are all 2023 guys. I've never seen a batch of quarterbacks as good as what's coming out of Louisiana in 2022/2023. It is off the charts. My wife just commented in the comments, they're mad about the dog bed. Y'all, I mean, that's why they're making so much noise on this stream. It's because they're mad I didn't get 100 retweets on that tweet, and now they don't get to sleep in Death Valley every night. So if y'all would be so kind as to hop on over to the tweeter.com and retweet my tweet with the dog bed so I can get Mike to buy me a dog bed, I would be stoked. Thank y'all. Please and thank you. I want to let y'all know we're going to wrap up here in just a bit. Y'all get any comments in. I want to hear your predictions, and I'm going to judge you based on those predictions. So get those predictions in, and we're going to talk. But before I talk, I got to talk about the coolest thing in the room, this Jordan Spector Joe Burrow painting made by Spector Sports Art. It is signed by him. It is the coolest thing. It comes on an awesome canvas print, or you can have it come framed. He'll take care of it all. Options on the link to get it taken care of. This is a great choice for any man cave. Did you know, with every purchase, it goes toward Dreams Come True Louisiana and the Joe Burrow Foundation. It makes dreams come true for Louisiana. It feeds hungry children in need in Ohio. It's great. It's everything about Joe Burrow. So go get you one, man. Show it off your man cave. Help support these charitable causes. I thought it was very noble of Jordan to set that up. And go support him with one of these. It's the coolest thing you're going to get. Link in the comments. And maybe give his page a follow. I would have also tagged there because he's got something cool coming up, and he's always putting out something cool. Got a cool LeBron James painting he just did. He's got cool LSU things coming down the pike. Esteban, y'all go to the tweeter machine and get retweet going. Thank you. Please go to the tweeter machine and get me that dog bed, y'all. Let's see here. I'm not mad about the dog bed, but dog bet. But what do you do if one has decided not to be on Twitter? I have no answer for that, man. It was strictly a Twitter bet. You don't have to hop on Twitter. That's why we try to have a presence on every social media. I have Facebook. I have Instagram. That handle's down there. I have a freaking TikTok page. So, whatever. I don't judge. Social media is social media to me. But anyways, I don't see any predictions coming in, but I'm going to reiterate mine. I think it's 27-24, and it's one of those deals where I threw a lot of what I've seen and a lot of my knowledge out. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it's going to be a little wild and wonky because usually Auburn LSU games are wild and wonky. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, tight game. Who you want at quarterback for you? TJ Finley or Bo Nix? I'm taking TJ Finley every time, and I can't believe I'm saying that after 1 week, but man, he looked impressive. Tell me that's not the reincarnation of Jamarcus Russell or Rohan Davey. I mean, so much talent. He opens up a lot for this offense with his legs. They improved on third down. They went from 0 for 10 on third down to 8 of 10. Very, very impressive. And, his technique is still a little sloppy as a passer, but he's so gosh darn talented, it really doesn't matter. Guys, I've had a great show tonight. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all for joining and being nice to the first ever TigerBait live guest, Mr. Stingray from Tosh.0. I've got one last prediction coming in. Allen Smith, 33-17. We got a lot of big wins coming in, man. That's pretty exciting. So, and Ray was right on. Oh, Esteban, 35-33. He's right where I am. LSU, both defenses struggle, but until the fourth quarter when LSU blitz packet heats up and get Bo on the run. Hey, that's actually a pretty good breakdown there because one of the things about this Bo Pelini defense is they are very, very aggressive, and a lot of times he has just enough success with being aggressive on these blitzes to where he tricks himself into keep on doing it, and then he gives up another 60-yard and then a 30-yard dinger and then a 24-yard dinger. Let's see here. Neither LSU nor the Saints punted last weekend. I did notice that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, my guy, I had a tweet about Zach Von Rosenberg really abandoning his team. Thomas Morstead tweeted out with Drew Brees, and I couldn't help but notice Morstead is yoked, yo. I mean, he's got a six-pack. He looks beefy. And then Drew Brees standing next to him looks gangly, man. I mean, Thomas Morstead just physically dominated Drew Brees in that photo. Of course, Zach Von Rosenberg was jealous to get a photo with TJ Finley after the game. And TJ Finley, in typical TJ Finley form, was... TJ Finley's not a man of many words. He's a man of many actions. One of the things that stands out to me about TJ Finley, when he signed with LSU National Signing Day, very first day, he showed up to practice for a season he's not even eligible for, but he showed up to practice because he could. He's very much so a talk less, do more kind of guy. Let's see here. Yes, TJ Finley over Bo Nix, but Bo is playing at home. I agree, but he's still Bo. That shirt is a little too blue and orange for me, for being honest. It's salmon. Okay? Yo. All right, gosh, how close do I... Let me turn my little halo light off, or at least change the color. Let's see here. Does that help? No, I'm turning it off. Okay, look. It's salmon, yo. This is like pinkish, all right? Let's see here. Okay, so, all right, let's see here. 31-24 24. By the way, Justin Giglio in the comments, I just recognized who they came from. He's in my fantasy league, and he beat me with Joe Burrow at quarterback. So, you know what? That's just him being a you know what. Eric Herbst. Dude, I want to say A-Bear so bad. I'm going to have a bad habit of just read the first and last two letters and go with it. 31-24. Justin, you're correct. Too much Auburn going on. Yo, it's Salmon, bruh. I go neutral every time. Come on, guys. You're killing me. You're killing me. Well, guys, look, great show. Appreciate y'all trolling me. I appreciate y'all tuning into my guest, Stingray. Hopefully, we'll have a guest next week as well. Very excited that it worked with no technical difficulties. I think that's mostly a miracle, even though we had a little internet breakup. But I mean, look, that's I mean, that's gonna happen when you're online. Let's see here. A gift from the mother-in-law. She doesn't know football. Yeah, this is from my mother-in-law. My wife's commenting there. But anyways, all right, I've been trying to wrap up here for like 3-4 minutes. I have a law of always getting to your last second comments. You must be really bad at it. Eric, dude, come on, man. Come on, who are we talking to? Come on, don't get on me about fantasy football. I might be 2-5, but I'm a legend, okay? It's all about 4 weeks in November. Thank y'all for watching tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all make sure to tune in. We'll be back again next week. Mike will be live Thursday. Then we have our post-game show we'll be on for. We'll be talking about LSU Auburn, hopefully with a big LSU win. Y'all have a great night.